Let's get going indeed. We enter the Dark Ages, or the Dark Times, or potentially a dark period of our playthrough in the Ace Attorney trilogy. We are in Trials and Tribulations. We'll be getting back today to do the final trial day, it sounds like, of 3-5, Bridge to the Turnabout, and things are, as I said, getting a bit dark. I don't know if we are... well, definitely we're getting into very important parts of the trial, because we're essentially going to decide the fate of the Fae clan, I feel like, what's going on in this one. Like, whatever we do, we'll be like, who's going to be in the charge of the Faes by the end of it? Is it going to go a certain way? I'm just very intrigued to see where it goes. So come along and join us for the adventure here in the Twitch stream or in the YouTube highlight after the fact. If you are watching this in YouTube, then please let us know if you enjoy it around here. If you want to click the buttons down below to like and comment, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notifications for future uploads. All those things do help the channel a ton, and yeah, we'd love to have you for the ride. So I think with all of that said, we get back into it. As I said, 4-1, the final trial day kicks off now. It will begin shortly, as in it will begin now, so please get seated and get ready. February the 10th, 9:39 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1.
Good morning! Oh, are you by yourself?
Morning, Pearls.
Mr. Nick, please tell me! What's gonna happen to Mystic Maya?
I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple.
Oh, I see. So, is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall?
No. She's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court.
Then... how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby?
Yeah, I have to admit, it's kind of strange. Ooh, I don't know who this voice is. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Edgeworth! What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what?! Prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Oh, so I heard. Oh, Franziska von Karma, what are you up to? But is it gonna be Franziska? Because, I mean, we've seen Godot return, and yeah, I feel like it isn't Franziska that Iris is gonna be talking to. I mean, Ezra's gonna say it right here, so there we go. I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot? Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern.
The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that cheese?
Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and receive some good news soon. Yeah. Thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were today. Thanks for the compliment, Edgeworth, but it's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold on to someone else? Literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands. partner. Thanks. This is where we discover that Edgeworth now has my cold. Something like that. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Donim. No, I mean Miss Misty Faye. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I'll solve them all, and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Right, since we are getting started in the trial now, I think in courtroom beverages are in order. Bear with me. There we go. That is ready to go. There we go, there's my power-up sip. Alright. February the 10th, 10 AM. District Court, courtroom number 7. Morgan at the very end of Game 2, Case 2. I shall be patient, my dearest Belle. A chance will present itself. Your time will come. She's suddenly coming back in now of all the times. Very interesting. And we have our good old judgy boy back. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Your Honor, what are you? Oh, me? Well, my little brother came in to visit me in my my chambers earlier this morning. I don't know why I said echo chambers. Yes, he came onto my social media feed over on Truth Social. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. My little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Oh my god, Canadian judge has my cult now. Okay, a bit of brevity, a bit of levity, I love it. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. Sorry, give me a moment. My phone's being awkward with a bunch of updating stuff right now. Since it is a new one, and I think it might be a couple of OSs behind or something, and it's like really trying to push on updates and pop-ups and whatnots. Nanny? I said my phone is being a butt. That's essentially it. Also, is this sort of like out of place a little bit? I'm just gonna shift that a few to the side there. That'll do. Alright. We are back in, yep, we're back in order, and we're back in, let's go! So they're brothers! Well, that explains a lot. My poor brother, he looked a bit pale, and not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. There's the first power sip. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgments. Ah, well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then, you mean... forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she's had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Iris, why didn't you discuss this with me first? Because you're the main character, and things have to be difficult and perilous for you in the final trials. It's like Final Boss 101. It's designed to be, you know, you're on the back foot until some miracle happens and you get powered up or buffed or whatever. Larry must have designed my new phone. I hope he hasn't. Like I said, I think it's just a couple of OSs behind and it's like trying to really push it to get me up to date right now, so it'll be fine. Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Kick me, Sign Phoenix. The defendant Spence always has one. Love it. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask her for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris. I'm but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple.
Witness, is there something that you want to confess to?
Yes, but first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
It's alright. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Donim?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried her to the Hazakura Temple courtyard, where I desecrated it.
What? She's confessing she was the one that made the scene where we saw the ritual sword planted in the body. Oh, that's a bit grisly. Order in the court! Order! Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that's correct.
What? "3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in the cold sweat. This is the quickest I've ever been this way. This is the quickest I've ever been made to feel this way in my life. The quickest you've ever been made to feel this way in your life so far, Phoenix, I think. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. Just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? That Godot. So, this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Okay, no more of that. I was just about to check that. In fact, is it still kind of here? No, that's the weather data. Yep, now it's gone. Well, if I were to check it anymore, I guess I'm not allowed, and it must be that it's now just no longer relevant. Alright, let's go. Now then, little lady. If you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering for someone? Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket.
I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Kurain tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if needs be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Kurain channeling technique. Mystic Maya Fey!
Huh. Wake up, smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya! Order! Order in the courts! So, not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer!
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her.
Objection! That's ridiculous! Maya can never do such a... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought I was prepared for the unexpected. I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. Even if it was kind of impossible for her to be in the midst of everything, they'll still pin it on Maya in some fashion. They'll still find a way. Life always finds a way. Life, chaos theory. You mentioned Maya, you should go to jail. It's just, if you just spate the name, what is it? That's sacrilegious to do it now, VST? Is that what you're saying? Well, okay. Alright, she's testifying about the real Moiderer.
I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it.
So it was in self-defense?
Yes. Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya.
You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was... that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Alright, the first one of this trial day. And it's gonna be a biggie. Okay. Needs to be in ghost jail, that is. Doesn't matter if it's in this world or the afterlife. There needs to be a jail in the afterlife, and she needs to be in there. It turns out, really. Okay. So always, I don't think I'm gonna get penalized for it. Let's press everything, because I like to say things. Hold it! Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple. Objection! Did she now? Too bad for you, what she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? It was in the inner temple's training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That'd be properly described as hearsay.
Unacceptable condition! Unacceptable!
It's very unacceptable, he says. Okay. What do you have to say, witness?
I just couldn't tell him the truth at that time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she?
Whoa, hold the phone now. No.
I didn't want to be the one to bring it to you that I saw her commit murder.
There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden?
Well, Your Honor.
FBI, open up. Nah, I think that's okay. I think Maya is of an age, and me, myself, I am only like 20-something, lower 20s, or I think 25 at the most. That's not exactly a wild age gap. I'd say don't even worry about it. But yeah, it isn't a romance relationship, it is purely in the business sense, which is very, very good friends, and we put it with each other's bull, you know, that kind of thing. It's fine. Alright, you saw Elise, or you saw otherwise Misty, strike with her staff. Okay, interesting. Hold it! Myra's a teenager. Again, I've seen wilder age gaps happen in various forms of media. I really wouldn't worry about it. You're saying that the victim attacked Maya? I mean, Miss Faye?
Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse.
What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting?
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock.
That's perfectly understandable, my dear. This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. And what happened after that? Is he just gonna say that to every single bit of testimony, or is there particularly a bit in that that's a bit... Anyway, let's keep going. Hold it! She moved in to deliver a fatal strike?
Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon.
Wait a minute! What was this weapon?
It was some kind of dagger.
A dagger, huh? And Elise Donim tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye?
Yes, exactly.
You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? That sounds like it's time for a confidence save. 'Cause I might be asked about that. Do I have a problem with Virus's testimony? I mean, do I have that? Because the, nobody notices except me and Gumshoe. That's the point. That's the point. We know that the staff is a sword implement concealed in a wooden outer casing. Essentially, it's a sword. It's a sword, and the wooden part of this staff is essentially like a sheath. Is this where I go ahead and... Is this where I go ahead and say... It's time to reveal my secret weapon, even though it's only me and Gumshoe that knows this? Should this be revealed onto the courts? That is what I'm trying to, yeah. It's something along those lines, I believe. So let's, yeah, let's say... Just one more thing. Just one more thing. Then I'll get out your hair. Don't worry about it. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless. That's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps. I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. That's kind of overstepping your mark there, Godot, sir. Yeah. Then again, the judge is sometimes capable of being a very weedy, pathetic little man, so, yeah. Okay, now, let's continue. So that is new.
She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe.
Alright, we add that and we can press it now. Hold it! She threw her staff away?
Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted some more lethal weapon.
It's true, it's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff. Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff?
Yes, that's what I saw.
Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Oh yeah, it's alright.
Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with a dagger. I'm sure of this.
So it is definitely that we need to, probably, ping on, but we're gonna read the rest of the, things first, because I like to say things. Trying desperately to defend herself, stole the weapon, okay. Hold it! And then?
Mystic Maya, she turned things around, and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike.
With the are you absolutely certain?
Yes. But believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya had done something.
My Faye's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. Yes, I see. Oh, this is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. Unless I find a contradiction in her testimony, Maya's gonna get blamed for this.
I only have this to say.
It was only in self-defense, yeah? Hold it! So you're saying Maya Faye was the one who stabbed Miss Elise Donim? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw?
Yes.
Objection! Tisk kiss tisk, right? If your mug's filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this! I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get right. It's called evidence. Now hurry up, before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is Godot waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, I need to pick her testimony apart and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. The things we noticed that don't add up. Moved in to deliver. She threw her stuff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe. But I think the thing is, unless there's anything else to the contrary, we're talking about a weapon, so anything that could be construed as a weapon is this and nothing else. Yeah, it's not that there was a dagger concealed in the robe. The staff is the dagger itself, so she couldn't have thrown the staff away, since the staff is the weapon itself. I think that's what I got a ping on. Objection! Objection! Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events.
Huh?
Miss Donim throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me.
But all you can do with the staff is hit someone.
No. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris. But this staff is a bit special. The victim's staff had a special feature about it. Like I said, it's special. As you can see, it's a sword.
Ah!
If Elise Donim really had wanted to kill Maya Faye, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? Objection. That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trite. I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But, even so, how should I put this? Huh? A long sword's unwieldy, and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Tell that to all the Saxons and Vikings and Knights of the Round Table back in the day. They used plenty of swords, I believe. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade. Well, anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument.
Mr. Wright!
I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Donim would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. So evidence to sway that Donim or Misty would have tried to get Maya. Check this again. Also, the fact that she had this on her that already proves that she didn't need to do this? Is this like a seal of trust or whatever? There's nothing in that. I don't think there's anything in that either. Keep remembering that we can go to profiles as well to see if there's anything in that. I keep forgetting. Oh, of course, they're blood related! They're blood related! Why on earth would she? If anything, that'd be the daughter that goes after the mother. Child will go after parent, I would say. It's very rare to see, like, parent go after child for whatever reason, so, yeah! It's the blood relation. Doi. Of course. So like that. Doi. Take that! Her true identity is Misty Fey, the mother. So, yeah. Elise Donim would never have attacked Maya Fey.
How can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name was not Elise Donim. Her real name was Misty Fey. Fey?
Huh? Not Misty Fey?
Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to... Misty Fey is the master of the Kurine channeling technique. She is also... the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? No, I'm Phoenix.
Is it really true? Mr. Wright? Was Elise Donim actually the great mystic Misty?
There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea.
I can hardly believe it.
The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years? Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Ugh. Yeah, prosecution. Do it! I dare you! I triple dog dare you! Order! Order in the court! Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented... 1. That the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight. And 2. That the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter. Despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that's impossible. God, you stumped me on what's impossible now. God, I wanted to be clever here, but I've just stumped myself on things that are impossible in this world. God damn it. God, I wish I was more clever than I am right now, but, yeah. Except for one little thing. Yes? What is this one little impossible thing? You still don't get it. What's impossible? You drinking something other than coffee? Oh, damn! I burned them. You think maybe my beans are under-roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. Ooh, you're going to ruin your health, my friend! Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? Oh, now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it! Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I was investigating the crime scene! Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the back side of the palm tree. Sorry, the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women. This little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Did you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? What can I say? I'm an efficient drinker. I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed in such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test to be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Alright, found behind a tree in the inner temple garden, which we were not allowed to look behind. Well, I don't think we were even allowed to analyze the pine tree in the first place. Game, why do you do this to me? Right, the blood has been analyzed on it now. Now then, the testimony we've just heard has numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Cute girls never lie. Ever. I need to introduce you to a lovely lady, called Dahlia Hawthorne, girl. I think, I think you'll be, swayed in otherwise, I would say. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw. The battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor.
Witness testimony about the battle, the great battle that supposedly happened to end all battles between mother and daughter, which doesn't make sense!
Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attempt and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed.
Ooh, that was a very heartbreaking story.
I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore?
That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Wow. What is there to this? Right, let's keep it going. We might get something from the pressing, so let's do it. Hold it! Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all this?
What do you mean?
Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued their battle.
I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden stone lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so I think that's why they didn't see me.
So it was dark when in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Miss Mayafay do after she was struck? She dodged the next one and then stole the weapon. Yeah, likely. Hold it! What happened to the victim's staff then?
I'm not sure. The area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated.
That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger.
Mystic at least raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And then at some point, Mystic Maya picked it up.
Well, nothing sounds especially strange yet. What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her? With her back to the stone lantern. Alright. Sorry. Alright, keep going. Hold it! If you must know, I did have quite a late wake up today, so I am still having a bit of grogginess, but, yeah. I'm still alright to do this stream, don't worry about it. You're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim?
Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger.
I still can't believe it. The idea of Maya concerning someone at knife point. It's just silly. As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal. I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified, and just please for once make sense with your anecdotes, sir. Your animal analogies have grown tiresome. Your general analogies have grown tiresome, mate! Well, you're the one who started it! Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim into the stone lantern, what happened next? That's when Maya stabbed Elise, yeah, sure. Hold it! Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw?
Yes, I'm almost certain.
Almost?
The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was...
Well, what did she just say? So, in other words, it could have been someone else entirely.
Objection!
Objection! We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise Donim. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? I don't have anything to counter that yet. Well then, would this please continue with your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
The two of them face each other for a moment.
Then the two of them face each other for a moment. Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Then Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground.
So she was stabbed in the stomach,
Yes.
Is that consistent with... That is not consistent with that. I think we'll get to that But I think we just have time to fit in this last bit of pressing before we have a break. But I think I know what to press here. So yeah, let's just do this bit and then we'll go to a break. Hold it! Where did that dagger go?
I have no idea. It was dark and I couldn't see.
According to the detective who found the dagger, it was stuck into the pine tree in the garden. Most likely it was flung towards the tree after the struggle. That is the most likely explanation, yes. After being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away?
Now that I think of it, she seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while. And Mystic Maya stood there, not moving an inch. It felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then, suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over.
It seems like a reasonable story at first, but there's one thing that's completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone, that alone is impossible! Which means, this full testimony must contain another contradiction in it somewhere. I think it's going to be a bit more obvious than Maya wouldn't do it. It's just how it's been done, according to this testimony, is completely false, with something that's in our evidence bank, which we'll get to after we come back from this break. It's time to run one now, so we will have a bit of a rest, and we can run the ads in this time to get rid of all the pre-rolls and make sure that you in the streamland don't miss anything of what's going on. There'll be no break in the YouTube highlight. If you want to continue watching, that's fine, but this is also a good time to pause the video if you need to go do some self-care. So, yeah, do with that what you will. And then when we come back, when I've done my little bit of a rest, we will get Iris here on the thing that seems mightily impossible based on what we have in our evidence bank. So we'll get her testimony when we're back from the break. I'll see you back here very shortly. Okay then, we've been marked up. We are ready to come back after our short break. So if you took any time for your self-care, I hope you had a pleasant time doing that. And if you're ready for some more, let's go ahead and do some more. Welcome back to the courtroom. We're in the midst of the trial, and things are going to get mightily interesting, I think. So, let's do some more. If you are enjoying this as well on the YouTube highlight, then don't forget to let us know with a like and comment. And feel free to subscribe to the channel and click the bell as well if you want to support us in an even more fantastic way. We'd love to have you for the adventure, of course, and we greatly appreciate it. So right, I figured this out before the break, but the one thing that is not adding up here is that with her back to the lantern, that's when Maya stabbed Elise. Problem with that is, it's in the autopsy report itself. Loss of blood from stab in back. If her back is to the wall, naturally should be taken from a stab at the front, but the autopsy report don't lie. Unless it was fabricated, but I don't think it was in this case. But yeah, I think this is where we get a run. So, yeah, pretty easy answer to this one. Let's go for it. Objection! Something about you just isn't right today, Iris.
Huh?
Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions.
What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony?
According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct?
Yes, that's right.
But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt is sprouting from your testimony. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? Is that all you have to say? Figure it out, Gramps. I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Objection! you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and the logical metaphors already? Just speak words! The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting behind being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it?
It's just...
If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There's 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee, but to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself! He needs to do that literally every single time he opens his mouth, and right, like every single word is proverb and metaphor and anecdote. Just English, do you speak it? Literally. This is what we're like to him. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. Huh? A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light? And lots of carrots. By the way, did you know? Azakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible? It hadn't been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening? No, Judge, it wasn't enlightening because there was no light. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trite? No! He got me with his anecdotes again! Curses. Curses to that Godot. Alright, let's keep going. Order! Order! Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it'll rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. Wow, you literally brought it in from there. That must have been a heavy bit of lifting, Godot. Well done. I'm aware they didn't actually lift the lantern into here. They just have it. They just have a photo of it, I guess. That'll be the thing. A lantern from the Intertemple Garden was not lit on the night of the crime. Thank you very much. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern? There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood! Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? It says Maya upside down! What the?
Oh, yes. That's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been riding that other stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body.
It certainly looks that way. Objection! Hang on. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense! This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Rose-tinted visors again. It was your foil in the first time it happened. I think in the cafe case. It's your foil here again, dude. Why did you pick red as your favorite color for this visor? And you chose to be a prosecutor dealing with murders where a lot of the time the evidence can be blood splatters. We love you for a lot of reasons, Godot, but man, you're testing me right now with this whole entire thing here. Come on! Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think about it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight's pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Are you trying to be like... Was that your poor little meow meow cry for help, Godot? The fact that you can't see anything that's red because through your red goggles? Like, was that your cry for help? Aw, my poor little meow meow. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark. And that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then. Let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow, I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Stone was killed by Maya Fey. But that's just wrong! Now it's time to turn our attention to you.
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Alright, here starts the testimony about the cover-up. Alright then, let's get going.
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Kurine tradition. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Tusky Bridge. Then I used a snowmobile to carry it back to Hasakura Temple, and... I used the Shichishito to alter the way the wound looked.
So you moved the body?
Yes, I was raised at Hasakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fate Clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise the Nim was actually Misty Faye. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. They need to start with antidotes, especially when they get them wrong.
I intended to
Excuse me.
I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body. But...
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Gotta get that plentiful moisture down my throat to keep the keep up with the soft-spokenness of my voice I give into Iris. So there you go. Still my me. Also, get very comfortable in the chair. Yes, I am moving about a lot. You can probably hear it through the microphone. I'm so sorry about that. I do have a squeaky one, I know, but literally the only one that can fit reasonably in the space that I've got for setting up for streaming, so don't worry about it. Alright, after Elise died, call out to Maya, okay? Hold it! So you waited until everything was over before making a move?
No, it's not like that.
Objection! She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion. Isn't it your job as a judge to mediate the argument?
It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on me what she had done. Or dawned on her what she had done. Dawned on both of us, I should say.
You thought it was your duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, yeah? Hold it! So then, you knew? You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey?
Yes, of course I did.
That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position.
Anyway, she was a very special person indeed.
You removed body by yourself, that does track, and then... yeah, wherever the snowmobile came from, that's where you used to cart it back. You probably abandoned somebody who you already used the thing to get out there. Probably Larry in all cases, I mean, yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Hold it! Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
You moved her body all by yourself?
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow.
The snow, huh? Back all the way across Dusty Bridge, yep. Tracks. Hold it! It's pretty amazing you can make it all the way across. That is a rickety old bridge.
It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age.
It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even the simple cold. But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River?
Huh?
It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple.
I thought it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible.
Huh. Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what'd you do after you crossed the bridge? What the, Excuse me. What are the... No, the river is fast flowing enough that it doesn't freeze over, so that would still have carried the body quite a bit of a whiles away, and thus it would never have been seen. Just a thought. Just a thought I had cropped in my mind there, weirdly. Don't worry about it. Yep, you used the snowmobile to get up to the temple, okay. Hold it! The snowmobile? I just knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? About the snowmobile itself, or about the tracks? I think we should do it about the tracks, honestly. Cause yeah, that shows only one set, and the other one was the footprints that came out, so... yeah, can we have some clarification about what these mean, first off, and think... if you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride?
Yes, I think they are.
But I can only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hasakura Temple.
Gee. Snow was still falling,
And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there were such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? Well, we have the weather details. 7 to approximately 10:50. The lightning was happening at 10 to approximately 11. That is, yeah, I'm gonna say, that is a very long time for constant snow to be falling down. And there's an entire window of between 10... When the bell was rung at 10 o'clock, that's when the lightning started, doesn't it? That is still a very big window for snow to still continue to be falling. 10 to 10:50 p.m. is a long time. That's like 50 minutes. In fact, it is 50 minutes. Because math. And all this had to have happened... All this had to have happened before 10:45. Because that's when the lightning hit the bridge and set it on fire, apparently. Or maybe it happened right on time, but that's, yeah, that is still quite a lot of time for snow to fall down and cover tracks left. And I was like, yeah, there's something odd about that. I think we want... Yeah, it's very important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony. But does it have something to do with the case? All will be made clear if you just allow their statement to be added to the record. Huh. This should be fun. You. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we?
Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped.
Let's go back to this one first, because we didn't press this one. You use the ritual sword to alter the way the wound looks. Yep. Hold it! Is that what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw you?
Yes, that's right. She probably thought the worst.
Probably. More like definitely. I see. So Sister Bikini mistakenly thought you were the one that murdered Mr. Nim?
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It's my fault that this case has gotten so confusing.
And now we press the new one that got added. The snow had already stopped by the time the murder took place, but did it? Hold it! There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true?
Yes, I am.
When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks are so clear.
That's right. I'm certain of it.
I think I've trapped her this time. I see how you think. Snow, huh? What is going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than the movie The Grid Revelations. Is this a dig on how people don't like The Matrix, The Revelations? A bigger hole in the story than The Grid? You mean The Matrix? Damn, way to burn The Matrix. Oh my god. Hello, Initial fan, welcome in. Well, that's a heck of a reference to put in, wow. Huh. Well then, Mr. Troit, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us? Let's see what's up your sleeve. Or rather, at the end of your index finger.
Huh?
I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of.
The Snow had already thought, yeah, damn, pinging the Matrix Revelations on that one. Yeah, wow. But yeah, it's something to do with the snow and probably the weather report we gotta put in. So, unless there was anything new that was added that I didn't check up on. Dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. That would have... Oh, wait, yeah. It wasn't just snow, it was lightning as well. There was a thunderstorm. Or lightning snow, I think that's the technical term for it, because, much like in the same way that snow is essentially just moisture that charges particles in the clouds and causes static to build up, and then it just goes down at the ground. It can happen with rain, it can also happen with snow. I've seen it. It is a phenomenon that happens. A phenomenon that happens, shall I say. It's phenomenon. So, yeah, in the window that the autopsy report presents, 10 to 11 PM, that's the entirety of the time that this snow lightning was happening. And to go across the bridge at the time the lightning was happening, particularly in the latter parts of it, where lightning struck the bridge at 10:45 to set a fire going, and the snow had stopped by that time, the bridge was already out. The bridge was already out because of the fire, so... Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me. You can't have gone across the bridge because the weather report says by the time snow had stopped, lightning had just hit the bridge and caused it to go alight, so when the snow stopped, the bridge is already burning to ashes by this point, so... Yeah, how? How do you do this? Oh god. Oh god, this is where this is gonna come in now. What? Oh, I didn't want... Ah, Larry, why? Why does your silly stuff have to become relevant? God damn it. Right, I think it's this first. Let's go for it. Objection! You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible.
What?
This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 PM. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time.
Why do you say that?
Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire.
What did you say? The bridge? It was on fire?
You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? Yeah, that's interesting somehow. Alright. Hello, Stella. Come on in. Don't worry about being fashionably late to proceedings. That's absolutely fine. You're at work? No problem. I won't tell anybody. It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
What? It can't be!
Come on now, Larry witnessing it is helpful. Suppose we'll see when we get to it, I suppose, but man, it looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney.
No!
Order! The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body.
Huh?
Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Objection! The only person here that's truly contemptible is you. Old man! Me? How dare you! Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Donim was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Donim's body.
He makes a good point. On both accounts.
That's right! I'm not lying!
What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night. So my memory is somewhat hazy.
Objection! You've stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? Objection! It's only human to err. I think the words to err is human, but okay. If you're so perfect, Trite, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick? Well, not exactly, no.
I know there must be some other way that she got across that burnt-out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth.
It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Ah! All right then, witness. Let's hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Will this be her final testimony?
Go on then. How does she move the body?
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross the burning bridge?
Oh, I don't want to believe. I don't want to have to use this, but it might have to be. God! So it was just a misunderstanding. I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from that lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Oh my god, I see. I absolutely see. Oh, I'm so sorry, BSC. I'm so sorry. Oh, but goddammit, I see. During the burning, one of the suspension bridges snapped off, and there must have been quite a massive snap. It's essentially a catapult or a trebuchet situation. Because that is the only way for Larry to have seen what he saw in his sketching. A body being flung over by a... Oh my god. This is silly, but it totally makes sense. It is essentially, yes, this corpse flew as a result of the whipping from the the trebuchet sort of situation from the suspension bridge snapping. What the hell? God, why? Clearly it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. Taken the morning after the crime, the Dusky Bridge photo is added to the records. With one of the suspension bridges, tethers snapped off and hanging down. Yeah, damn.
Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's gonna be deemed as a truth. Admirably accused of murder!
Right. I'm only gonna say it one more time. It is only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways.
The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes!
Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. One more time into the breach against the Iris. Let's go. But I can already see where this is heading. But we will press everything nonetheless. Hold it! Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place.
I couldn't have crossed the bridge. Naturally.
Huh?
But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said. The body did make it across somehow.
You must have just gotten confused. Or you had a crazy idea that is somehow ended up working here, but we'll get to that. Hold it! But you seemed to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong.
But does she really think an apology is gonna get her off the hook?
Well, cute girls don't lie. Nah. Was it still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter? I suppose it doesn't, but now you're just making excuses. Hold it! This isn't a joke! You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law!
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today?
Huh? Well, naturally, it was,
You see? It's not that easy to remember, is it?
But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring with rain on the day of my elementary school graduation. Objection! No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, Trite. What? But I'm proving a point here, Godot! You tend to do remember things when there is a special significance added to them. That's just how brain work, doy. I remember my first time on one of the kiddie coasters in the Disneyland park when I was like 5 years old because I absolutely hated the idea of going on roller coasters. I remember screaming my aunt's name for the entirety of that ride. Because I was petrified of that goddamn thing. Yes, it was just a stupid little barnstormer roller coaster at the Disneyland park, but still, I was only 5. I was terrified of it. I was terrified of moving that quickly. I was like, I don't wanna! And I also remember it was kind of a nice sunny day that day as well, just because. Because of that. Yeah. There you go. Nobody wants to hear my childhood traumas either, Laura. I know, but shush. Point still stands. If there's significance to the memory, we remember a lot more details about it, I would say. Because that's how brain work. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that statement, let's see the proof. Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Are you saying there is a way to cross the burning bridge? I'm saying that there is a silly, stupid, and should not work way to cross the bridge, but in this game, in this universe, it seems like nothing truly is impossible. Oh my god, Godot might be onto something. God damn it. You hate roller coasters. Oh, even still now. I've gotten a lot better with roller coasters over the years. Like, it did take me quite late in my life to get around to, like, swing around to them and realize most of them aren't actually that bad for me. I put that down to a few trips in, put that down to a trip or two that I had in, Blackpool Pleasure Beach. It was like a family and my, girlfriend at the time. Took a trip out to Blackpool and we went to the Pleasure Beach Park and, yeah, I went on, decided to sort of go along because my girlfriend at the time, she liked roller coasters and I was like, well, I've got to go over it at some point. Sure, they're not all that bad really, but it just had to be and experience it to know that they're truly not all that bad. So, yeah, I did a few of the ones that went upside down. There's like an inverted one that I did. There's the massive one as well that they call the big one. That's like a very tall thing and it goes down to like more than 70 miles an hour by the time it goes down the first drop. So I had to do that to overcome that bit of a fear as well. It's just yeah, getting used to them, finding out that yes, they can be forceful, but honestly, I think you'll be fine with them. I think I really erred away from ones that went upside down quite a lot of the time, especially when I was a kid. Nowadays, though, like I said, most things I'm completely fine with, just still kind of, I still feel like those ones that go, like, 90 degrees drop down as the first drop, I still feel like, ooh, a bit on those ones, because I just don't like the idea of freefall. Like, some of the really, really big ones, I still be like, ooh, do I really want to go on that one? Like, the ones that will get down to, like, 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour when they get down the first drop, it'll be like, oh, that's kind of a bit quick, then that's very tall. I don't know about the one yet. But no, yeah, once they go upside down, I feel like I am way better with as well. In fact, the last time I was at a theme park was, like a big theme park with a lot of upside down coasters was, again, when I went back to the UK last year for going to a wedding. I went to Alton Towers. That's one of the big name parks with a lot of the big thrill rides there. There's a ride there that has 14 times in total that it goes upside down. I think it's one of the records in the entire world of roller coasters. And that ride ended up being my favourite ride at the park on that particular visit. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty okay with rides that are upside down quite a lot of the time now. But, yeah, just some of the more sizable ones and the ones that have those, like, first drops that go, like, 90 degrees straight down. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. But yeah, I'd say, like, most of the world's roller coasters, I think I could probably handle now. But yeah, as a child, as I said, 5 years old, I screamed my auntie's name all the way around the Barnstormer roller coaster. So, yeah, make of that what you will. It took me a while to get over roller coaster fears, but now I think most of them I'll be able to handle now, I think. But yeah. Yes, it was the Smiler. That is the name of it, yeah. I liked that. I liked that one quite a lot of the time. And luckily, I went to that park as just a single person, so I was able to get in all the single rider queues, so I didn't have to wait for anything too much, so that was good. I think I got 2 times in the ride, on that particular ride, while I was last there. Also two times on the Nemesis roller coaster, because that was also a really good one. But yeah, going as a single rider has its benefits. Definitely. But anyway, back to the game. Is there a way to cross the burning bridge? Yeah, there's a silly, stupid way you can get a body across the bridge, but it's gonna be that. We'll get to that, though. Hold it! Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across.
Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly?
Huh?
A dead body crossing a burning bridge? Did anyone actually witness such a thing?
Huh. If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something.
I've come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. But how do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's okay. I'll start by examining all of my evidence and see where that takes me. I've got to be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead.
Alright. Chat, it is time to suggest the absolutely flippantly crazy. I mean, before I do, I think it's worth a confidence save. Because it is just that far-fetched of a thing. But given what we see now, that one of the tension things on this bridge was snapped during the events of the burning, and that snap would have likely been, like I said, like a whip trebuchet sort of thing when it snapped, sort of that similar effect. It is not far-fetched to try and put a body on the edge of that and fling it across. It is flippantly crazy, but in this world of Phoenix Wright, I don't think anything is that far-fetched, really, so, my god, there is truth to Larry's sketch. Let's try it here. Objection! A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? Huh. You're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. Godot, you're the one that said that nothing is impossible! You're the one that said it! Don't try and climb back on this now. Don't get off your high horse. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous! Who is it? Who is this witness?
I can't chicken out here. I've got to keep on the attack and go, go, go!
Miss Alisto name's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Sorry, throwing up in my throat a little bit there. Laristonim! Brilliant, highly gifted apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony. That night, he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? Today's not April's Fool today, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument?
Uh-oh. The judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket.
Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yes! I'm pretty sure it does! And I'm gonna prove it! Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. Huh? If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch?
Upside down? Why did Godot say that?
Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? Okay, so we have that. Let me see that again. Larry drew this upside down. Cause that's where the support ropes actually connect to the bridge. The upper parts don't connect to the walkway bit at all. It's the suspension bits that go over. So it wasn't that it flew over. It swung it swung under, didn't it? Because Larry drew it upside down. Oh. Because have a look at it again. Yeah, he's drawing it where the wires are connecting. That can only be the suspension tethers from the... do we have a... I'm sure we have a map of the entire area, don't we? Temple map. There we go. So yeah, see where the bridge is and where there's only 3 tethers, like lines that connect to the bridge. Yeah, because the top ropes, they don't connect to the walkway. It's only the support ropes from the tethers on the ridge on each side of the chasm of the gorge that actually connects to the bridge. So Larry did this very quick sketch, possibly while still lying on his back after having been startled by the lightning and then seeing the body fly over. Or would have been fly over from his perspective, but since he was drawing it upside down, it was actually swinging under. And then she'd probably have been able to, like, either it perfectly lands on the other side of the valley, and she'd have been able to retrieve the body from there. I mean, it is still kind of silly to think about, but it does make more sense than a trebuchet situation. It's just literally a swing under the bridge since the thing snapped. Or it was deliberately taken off. Oh, God. Well, either way, I think I now understand that we're actually seeing this from another perspective, and the sketch is upside down. So, yeah, there we go. I understand it now. It still sounds silly, but I understand it.
I don't think old Whiskerface is gonna forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix. Look carefully and think it over.
This sketch drawn by Laristo Nim is evidence of nothing, a complete contradiction, or it's exactly what happened. It's just his perspective was upside down. Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh! You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness. What?
That was the last thing I wanted to hear.
Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air? Just so you know, we haven't discovered the giant human catapult of the inner temple yet.
Oh, I wish they had.
Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time.
There must be some way, I just know it! There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened.
Alright then, the witness will now return to her testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Other than walking across the bridge, there's no way to move the body. You must have gotten confused. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying there's a way to cross the burning bridge? Yeah. Just whoosh! Yeah. Oh, I think I understand it now. Since we now have the evidence of the bridge photo after the fire had been put out and it had all burnt to a smolder, we now have the evidence of the rope. One of the suspension ropes being, broken off. Right, I get it, I understand, I believe now, yeah. So I think it is that we need to ping on this particular bit now, so... Right then, I will just think this over in my head for a little bit while we have our next round of, rest time while we run the ads and have a bit of a rest from the game. Give you all a chance to rest up as well in Twitchland. There will be no breaking the YouTube highlight coming up here, but if you need to do a bit of self-care, now's a great time to pause the video and come back to us later. And then when we come on back, I'm sure we'll have what we need to keep on going and get this girl on all of the confusing stuff that she has said unto us. With our own confusing stuff! So yeah, let's see if we can figure that out after the break. I'll see you back here very shortly. Alright, welcome back. Let's hope that what we're trying to do with this testimony isn't a bridge too far for Mr. Phoenix, for our good boy in the defense bench. Welcome back to the video, everybody. I hope you're still enjoying it, particularly in the YouTube highlight. You can let us know with a like and comment down below, and if you want to go and support the channel even further on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe and click the bell as well for those push notifications, hopefully coming to you when we do new uploads in the future. We'd love to have you. Don't forget that as part of our big old Ace Attorney chronology playthrough, I am doing every single game in in-game timeline order, so there's plenty more Ace Attorney coming up where that came from. If you'd like to join us, then please come along. We'd love to have you. So, we just left off thinking that this sketch that we're seeing made by Larry actually does provide a bit of truth, but you just need to look at it from a new angle about it. So now... So I have done the save here. I'm just going to double check and make sure. Now I definitely have if I didn't do it before. Is it now that we can present the Dusky Bridge photo and say that the support wire that's down will allow us to get across? If this doesn't work, then I need a new angle about it. It's either this is going to work, or I may need to redo everything that I just did before the break, but pick a new option that sort of says, it's not exactly as it is, but you just gotta kind of, like I said, look at it from your perspective, and then it'd probably say, what new perspective is this? So if this doesn't work, I might have to do that, but let's see. Objection! Right, this is not gonna work. I mean, I'm gonna reload anyway, so we'll play this out. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow you. It clearly contradicts the... I thought... You don't sound very sure, Mr. Wright. Objection denied.
I don't think that won any points with the judge.
Right. So what I need to do then, in that case, is replay all of that with the sketch again, contradicting this, but I think go a different option. So let's try that a second time around. Right, present the sketch again. Because while it looks like it's flying, but then we'll go the way of contradicts the fact that we don't think they're actually flying, they're doing something else. But yeah, let's try again. Right, go. Objection! We've seen all this, we can do it all over. It all comes back to this. I admit that I didn't really understand it before, but I get it now. That's why I believe this sketch shows the truth. Very well. Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think old Whiskerface is gonna forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over.
The sketch drawn by Larissa Nim is... It's a complete contradiction to them flying over the top. But alright then, okay, let's go the other way around. Something's obviously funny about this sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. You can save your backhanded slaps to... backhanded compliments to Larry later. Don't worry about it. Laristo Nim stated it over and over, that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. See in there, he was lying on his back in his makeshift bed? So he'd have been very quickly to his sketchbook to keep looking at it as he saw it, so yeah, he was seeing things from upside down. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
It contradicts reality?
This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Trite. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? Because again, we're looking at this from the opposite way down. This is where you'd see the top ropes of this bridge that don't connect to the walkway bit itself. It's the support tethers that connect to the bridge. So he's seeing this from upside down. Okay, let's see if I can get the tether point, the tether wire exactly, and then go... Take that! It's this wire connected to the bridge. The wire? Huh. Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. Because one of your support tethers is down, below the bridge. It's not that we have a trebuchet situation, we have ourselves a George of the Jungle or Tarzan situation. Body is attached to that wire, is swung below the bridge, and miraculously makes it to the other side. There you go. Take that! That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct? Yes. Now, compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge... Jump in Jehoshaphat! The wires are below the guard wires. What? Order! The sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong.
Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. No. With someone like Larice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen! Think back, alright? Remember what Larice was doing when he witnessed this event? He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never gonna come. He waited and waited, and finally he lay down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Larice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates. But it does, Your Honor. That's the reason why the wires in this sketch go up instead of down. Oh! No way! Larice Donim witnessed the event while he was lying on his back face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Larice Donim's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge, it was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Ridiculous! But hey, you said it yourself, Godot, nothing's impossible. Objection! Of all the things to say. A pendulum? The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And the pendulum was the only way to get it done. Objection! Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yep, that sounds right.
In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you'd need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you'd have to plan ahead. Objection!
To quote the lesser project, physics with Phoenix. Yep.
The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. So it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then...
They didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them.
What?
I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there.
In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum?
It's in the thing itself. It's already been snapped off. It's hanging down below. Literally like the pendulum motion is stopped on it. You see? Just go for this again, I think.
Take that! And the meaning of this is...
If you want to know where the rope came from,
it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Ah! My beard, it is glorious! This is one of the wires from the bridge.
When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around the Stonin's body. Whee! Or should I say, whoosh! That is miraculous, but Godot said it himself, nothing is impossible. Because there was simply no other way to move the body.
Mr. Godot? It seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all. Objection! Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Right. I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum?
Do we have evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Great question. Body fell 10 foot after... Oh, no, that's only 10 feet. Hang on, what is 10 foot? About... That's where the falling bruises came from when it goes plop on the other side of the valley after it let go. That's where it is, isn't it? It's those slight bruisings. That's where the 10 feet came from when the rope gets loose when it swung to the other side. Ah, yeah, get it.
Take that! Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the temple. The one that's an easy access to, and is directly across from where the shortest support tether was, which means it was the easiest way to actually make it land on the other side of the gorge, because there's not that much distance to cover from the other side of that 10 foot. Well, there you go. Or should I say that roughly 10 yards or so. So there you go, yeah. So then, that was the spot where the criminal Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here... Whee! Blop. It would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Did you say drop? Well, it must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death. 10 feet? Huh? That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to the forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Mr. Listo Nim's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found... Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way that the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright? I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot? Just needed the hot one, that's all. That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. But you forgot about one thing. Oh, and what would that be? The aroma. Huh? You know, Godot, I'm starting to get tired of your shenanigans. The coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak coffee-nese. Could you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side, like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it. An accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So, who collected the body? What do you have to say to that, Trite? Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor.
The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice.
Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple side?
Think about this carefully.
The unfortunate thing is that we can't save at this point because I forgot to do it.
I'm thinking that way too, yes. Somebody who we now know, given prior testimonies and revelations throughout this entire case. Iris had a twin sister. That would be the only way that Bikini could have potentially confused who they saw, because Iris and Dahlia are identical. Twin sister. Thought deceased, but maybe no longer.
Take that! Well, Mr. Godot, I'm sure you have something to say. That aroma just now. Smelled of sulfur. Perhaps it was your chances of winning running away. Fetch.
I can't get my facts all mixed up like this. After the accomplice received the body, they carried it to Hazakura Temple. Then they altered it using the Shichishito. There's only one person it can be.
Mr. Wright, please don't stare at me like that. It's creepy. Right. Here's where we do our confidence save. Now that we are going to take that... we're going to take our lumps on that one. So it wasn't Dahlia themselves. Her name is somebody. She is our allies. The whole picture of her. Use it when you challenge her. Here is the picture. It wasn't Dahlia herself. My god, it was somebody who was channeling Dahlia. What if Godot is secretly a murderer? What if that was a revelation? I don't think it's that. And she was found there at the inner temple. I think I have to think of it that way around. It was the person who was channeling. Or yeah, he murders coffee. He goes through 17 of them every single day. Or at least at every single trial he goes through 17, and then who knows how many he has, like, in his morning coffees, how many he has there for his lunch coffees, I don't know how many he has then for his evening meals. How much coffee does he have then? No coffee bean is safe from Godot, I swear. Ah, you're the one that doesn't have the spiritual There we go, I think we got it now. Because she had to have come from the temple side, yeah. I've done my save point just in case this is wrong. But alright then, let's try it. Take that! It can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? But
I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it. Objection! Trite. Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the Inner Temple Garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. Objection! I haven't forgotten. But have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved during the burnt-out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple? Objection! Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is?
There is no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday, and why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya.
The woman that's standing there at the witness stand. Her real name is Back from the Dead. Take that! I never thought I've had to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Huh? Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister, and you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name's ring some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless. It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine! No, the honor is all mine!
But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. What? Order, order!
Wait a moment! How can you... My sister... She's already dead! What kind of...
Objection! You, of all people, should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Kurine channeling technique flows within that body. The Kurine channeling technique? Now, where have I heard that? That's right. You're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if you're gonna put things that way, then yes. Objection. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens? Objection! Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions.
What's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. 2 of them? Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell. In other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time. That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris. And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely, one Dahlia Hawthorne. Objection! Do you even know what you're saying, trite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business? Yes, it's...
There, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Just gonna let that play out so I can have a drink in the meanwhile. I love that, thank you.
Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What?! Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled, would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the iris that received the body was the real iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There, they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center.
Yeah, I suppose. I can't deny any of that.
Thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off.
I'm still not convinced the iris here is the same one from the other night. Huh. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Gonna have a sip to prepare myself. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia, somehow switch places? Switch places? To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia. Which means... they must have switched places somewhere.
Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
There might have been one time. Good idea to confidence save here, yeah. Just a good idea to save just generally, I think, yeah, but yeah. But there could have been a moment that caused quite a lot of pandemonium to happen literally all around the area. And there was one. There was literally a moment that happened that quite literally made the Earth move. And I think it was reported after that point that Edgeworth, who was supposed to be looking after Iris in police custody, lost Iris during that struggle because he has that fear of earthquakes that makes him go catatonic every single time it happens. That's where he lost Iris. And that's possibly where a switch could have happened. Yeah.
Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely and unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that?
I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault.
The person who gave Iris a chance to freely move about was somebody who is a poor little meow meow whenever there's an earthquake that happens. Let's give it a go. Yep, I've read all that too. I am aware of how they're gonna do it. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we'll see what happens here when I put my best friend and husbando under the cosh. I'm so sorry, buddy. Take that!
This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake?
Earthquake! Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This could have channelized!
How could I have? She fled. She escaped!
We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling and...
Hang on a moment. She finally speaking up. Is the jig up, as they say?
Be quiet. Huh. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice?
Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
Dahlia Hawthorne. And my current profession? Permanently retired.
So you're not gonna bother hiding your identity anymore, huh?
Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again. And I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it! For her and for myself.
Alrighty then. Oh, Dahlia. A rose of many thorns. How we have missed you. Oh, dearie me. We have at least proven that it is her in the stand right now. But what follows on from that? And you know what? We still got some time to kill. It is to be continued. Right the heck now. February the 10th, 1:06 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 7.
Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness?
Yes? How can I help you, Mr. Judge?
Well, it seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony.
I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown.
In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night.
A spirit for a witness. Spirited away, should we say. What was the plan? You naughty little girl, you. Oh, and it's a theme for the testimony? Are you kidding me? Damn.
The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as next master. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya, and then have the blame pinned on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyway.
So, that means you really are— Hold it! Wait a minute! Did you say the plan was to kill Maya Fay?
Yes. You have a problem with that?
Don't give us that nonsense. There has to be— Watch yourself, Trite.
If you've got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's one of my rules. Mr. Godot is correct! And by the way, that's one of my rules as well.
To kill Maya? Could it be true?
Could it be? Because if the master is out, it means that a branch family can take over. She's even insulting the one who came up with the grand plan to begin with. Oh dear me. Ooh. Also a thought occurred to me. Is Dahlia cursing Morgan in a way to be like, it should have been me, not Pearl, because maybe I could have had the aptitude for that, and she's like, I'll slightly mess up this plan of hers a little bit. It's just a thought that could pop to my head. We'll have to see if anything comes of that, but yeah. Alright, let's just go. One jealous lady, even in the afterlife, jealousy, hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. Alright. Hold it! You were executed last month, correct?
Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant.
How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay?
Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her.
I see. So that's when you discussed the plan.
Huh! Are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well. Even though I'm her own daughter.
All to make Pearl Fay the master of Kurine.
She is a cold, twisted woman. She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister Misty took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan.
A plan,
To install her own daughter as the next master, but not you, daughter! Nah! Again, I'm sensing jealousy. I'm sensing hell hath no fury.
Hold it! You're talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct?
Yes, though at first, she had high hopes for the two of us.
You and your twin sister, Iris?
That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father.
Abandoned?
The only person I ever really cared about in life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple.
You mean Iris?
Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general.
How horrible!
The really horrible one was that woman. That bitter, vengeful woman. It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, Pearl Fay. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power. Unfortunately for her. Morgan Fay heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams onto that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family.
And for all of that to work, Maya Fey must die. Like Scott Tucker must die, whatever that movie is. She's kind of getting that, yeah, she's that psycho energy coming in. Like, hot damn.
Hold it! Maya would have to die? But why?
For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl as the new master, the remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
Objection! But Pearls would never agree to a plan like that! She adores Maya!
How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl wanted had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the Master. That's all.
That's ridiculous!
She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter, and naturally the life of Maya Fey as well.
How could anyone do that?
Because an entire branch family is a little bit... cuckoo! All that side of the family is just a little bit insane. Possibly. Was for you to get rid of Maya and have a blame pinned on Iris, yeah, really? Hold it! You? You were gonna kill Maya?
Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was to follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then, I would have simply used her body to finish the job. In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me.
Ah! So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger twin. On Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple.
She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally, they would think it was Iris that had done it.
And the witness in her case was the head nun, Sister Bikini.
I never would have guessed he was going to return to Hazakura Temple that night. But she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyway.
But why would you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she?
Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her.
Backstabber?
You just don't understand. You never will. Anyway.
The plan went wrong, but seems to have succeeded. You mean by that what? Hold it! You think the plan was a success?
You heard me. Just as that woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead. Now the title of the Master will pass on to Pearl Fey.
Objection! That's absurd! Maya is just... she's just trapped! Trapped inside the sacred cavern!
Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you? My darling Feeny?
Ah!
Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people.
I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fay's plan?
I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires. Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of.
If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya?
You may not understand it, being the kind and gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that.
So then tell me, why?
Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only acted my own self-interest. The reason I helped her was for myself. For my own personal satisfaction.
What did you say?
So this woman, Dahlia Hawthorne, she had her own reason for wanting Maya dead.
Do you understand why I would kill Maya Fey now? What my goal was?
Well, elaborate on that, please, you, contemptuous girl.
Hold it! Obviously, it's because you were helping Morgan Fay.
Helping? Don't make me laugh. From the day I was born to the day I died, I never helped anyone. I lived for myself, and in the end, I died for myself. I thought that was obvious.
So she wasn't actually cooperating with Morgan? She was just using Morgan and her plan so she could accomplish her own goal.
All I wanted to do was kill Maya Fey. That was the only way I could think of to get revenge.
Revenge? It looks like I have no choice but to present that piece of evidence. I can't believe it! She meant to kill Maya! I've got to keep a cool head. And I need to get more information out of her. It's the only way to understand this plan and what she was after as well.
Do you understand why I would kill? Do we have anything in that? Body Morphox and Charles Manson. It's more likely than you think. Would she have wanted... Would she have wanted this? Or would she have wanted something... Yeah, because this never came back to us about the blood analysis, so we're still gonna wait on that. Does she somehow want to be channeled forever to become the master themselves, or... Wow. If that's the case, then wow. Or is it for some person's sake? She definitely didn't want to help Mother because she thinks Mother's an idiot. That's herself. She's currently being channeled right now. Sorry, I am just blank, just keeping it on this. To well and truly do away with that side of the family, all because this was... Wait, was this all just to get back at Mia? Dahlia's holding one hell of a grudge in that case. Oh my god! Because the entire reason she ended up incarcerated when she was still alive was because Mia did her. Didn't care about Morgan goals. But yeah. Oh god. This is a hell of... What does she care about? Didn't care about Morgan's goals. What did she care about? Making other people's lives eternal misery and torments? Which she wanted to do because Mia was the defense attorney that got Dahlia in the first place? That is my theory. This is a hell of a grudge, if that is the case. And we'll see if I'm right after we take another quick intermission here, because it is getting closer to another ad time. Like I said, we're going to keep going for a little bit longer, see if we can get to a decent stopping point on this one. But yeah, There's gonna be a heck of a grudge if this is gonna be the answer. So let's find out after the break. We're gonna take a few moments of ad time in the Twitch stream. There will be no break in the YouTube highlight. If you want to continue doing the watching of the video, you can do. But this is also a good time to pause the video if you need to go do some self-care for a quick little bit. And after that, we will come back and finish our last little bit off for today, I think. So yeah, is the entire reason why you would want Maya Fey dead is to essentially be a get-backsy. One hell of a grudge if that's the case. And is that going to be the answer? Come with me and find out after this short little break. See you in a few. Okay then, friends. Is it time to figure out if this is just one heck of a grudge match going on? The entire reason Dahlia would want to be back to carry out her vengeance. And yeah, is this the entire reason? Because she only acts for herself. She only does it for her own reasons. BST Memes has been desperate for us to finally get this girl for... I don't know how long this has gone on for BST. It's been on for at least like a good few weeks. I would feel like, ever since you're like finding out about things. So yeah, chat really wants it, I guess. So let's see it. Why you wouldn't want Maya Fey out of the picture? To make just essentially somebody's life a misery, because we know events. The entire reason that Dahlia ended up on death row in the first place is because Mia Fey was on the defense bench for both of the cases that led to Dahlia's exposing as a not a nice lady, shall we put it that way. That's the kindest way of putting it, not a nice lady. The worst way of putting it is exposing Dahlia as being a That's the most evil way of putting it. And there'll be a few more of those after that point, but you get the picture. Why didn't she just kill Mia? Honestly. She probably would have done if given the chance, but Mia was already was killed in a completely irrelevant separate case. So the next best option, and to also cause grief to that entire family name, was to get the still alive sister. If Mia was still alive at this time, she obviously would have gone for. She really would have gone for Dahlia would have gone for Mia if she was still alive. But this would be the next best option to still cause that side of the Faye family a whole load of grief. Yeah, one hell of a grudge basically. She can't do it to her. She can't do it to Mia. So the next best thing is to go at Mia's still alive direct relation. It's all a grudge. I think this is it. Objection! Objection! Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself?
As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore. Because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead. And you can't take revenge against them either.
You wanted to take revenge on someone!
I was sentenced to die because of that woman. Mia Fey.
I somehow knew this was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation.
She's a psycho and you're asking if she'd hold that much of a grudge? You have a point.
I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up.
And the reason it was impossible? Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died?
Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead.
And how do you do that?
Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the one and only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans.
Just for that? For that you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan Fey! As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. In this case, the psycho apple doesn't fall far from the psycho tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless.
Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me.
Ah!
That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized into this world. I quickly pinned my hair up and put on a demon warding hood. Then, I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple.
So, it was Elise Donim who channeled her after all.
That ridiculous head nun never noticed a thing? She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back, clutching her poor old back.
What did you do then?
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then I took out the data I got from the storeroom and...
So then, you're saying you stabbed Maya?
It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
What does that mean? No clear memory?
I don't know. I think I was stabbed.
You were stabbed?
At the last minute, Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
Objection! That's not like her at all! Maya wouldn't stab a French fry with a plastic fork!
Anyway, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her.
I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
And that's where my memory temporarily stops.
It stops?
I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own two hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness.
You were in the sacred cavern?
The entrance was sealed with one of those trick locks. Somehow, I had been trapped in there.
But how did you wind up in there?
I'd like to know that myself. Anyway, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead. And I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
I wanted to get out of here and make sure she was dead. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out.
The trick lock stomped you, huh?
I didn't know how to remove it.
So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside this sacred cavern?
Yes. I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible. But it wasn't easy. It kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
Interrupted?
It was early in the morning. that someone came into the training hall.
What? Who? Could it have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern.
That morning, only 2 people could have gone into the training hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went there to cover the hanging scroll in gravy. Because she misunderstood gravely.
Still, I finally managed to remove the lock. But I was too late.
What do you mean by that?
The flies had already started to gather.
The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct?
Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cabin and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse that I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up.
Lady Luck?
After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself.
The real Iris?
She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was all right. Stupid girl. I came out from the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then that I learned the plan had actually succeeded.
What do you mean your plan has succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I'd assumed it was Pearl Faye.
Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was... Misty Faye, the picture book author.
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I lost consciousness in the garden, it was her body that left lying there. Maya Faye? I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
And that is?
Matricide. The sin of killing her own mother.
No way! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Faye. But even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Misty Faye's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
Objection! Ridiculous! That's nonsense!
Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence?
The fact that Maya Faye had disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it?
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of the Eagle River. Where else?
Eagle River.
Maya Faye killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that? That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. Huh. So, what do you have to say now, Feeny?
Uh,
His ringtone is his theme tune, I love it.
Oops. Sorry, that's my phone.
What kind of ringtone is that?
Godot here. Okay. Thanks. Was it something important? I just finished removing the locks from the sacred cavern. That's great! What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. Was it Maya Fey? It was the accused, Sister Iris. Huh?
Oh, don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just finished telling you that.
So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found inside the sacred cavern. No, it can't be.
I told you, didn't I? She is dead?
No. No! It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Donim, also known as Misty Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped into her death into the raging waters of the Eagle River.
It can't be.
Oh dear, who's laughing? Is this where I get my Dahlia Hawthorne evil noblewoman laugh? Please say I do, because I wanna ham this up. Oh, sorry.
Right. Have you ever heard this one? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. No matter how improbable it may seem. What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot? According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden. Which means, if Maya had thrown herself into the river, it must have been from the inner temple side, near the bridge.
That's right. That's where she jumped from.
But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there! Huh?
What?
Ah, yes, if you jumped from either point on that side, the inner temple side of that gorge, that's not water, that is a solid load of rock below her. And whatever the height of the gorge is, what was it, like a few good 40 feet or something, that's not a survivable fall if that's the case, so... If that was the case, if that's where Maya jumped, they would have found the body there. It wouldn't have been lost forever. So that means the body's still out there somewhere. And possibly not dead. Now
don't get your panties all twisted up, Trite. Just relax and think through the whole thing again.
So it's impossible? Maya couldn't have thrown herself into Eagle River.
Well, Mr. Wright, Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Fey threw herself into the river from the inner temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim?
The map itself.
Take that! It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness!
What did you say?
11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river.
Huh?
Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner temple side is a big rock shelf. Ooh! Ooh! You're right! She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we should be able to see her body in this photo! So, you finally figured it out.
You... No!
Roger, Roger!
You're just playing with me! Maya Fey's body is at the bottom of the Eagle River! There's no one else she could possibly be hiding!
Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Maya Fey wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be. What? What is this one possibility you're talking about?
That's obviously a bluff! So where is her dead body then?
Finally. I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally, the living have no way to punish the dead. But I think there is a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment.
Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya Fey is this very instant? After my confidence save, don't worry about it. Maya Fey is... at the inner temple, in the temple, in Hazakura Temple, or in this very room. Someone get an exorcist, someone get her out of there. Because it's like, who else do we know? Who else do we know that has the possibility to do the channeling of people? Iris doesn't have the aptitude for it. Wasn't Bikini? She was elsewhere and doing all the stuff because we've seen her all the other times as well. I think I'm being led this way, but I don't entirely understand why. This is how she managed to make it out, though, for some reason. Yeah, I don't understand fully completely, but I think it's leading us this way. Maya Fey is currently among us right now in the courtroom. Possibly exactly as the person in the stand right now. Yeah. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom.
What?
Maya Fey's here? You say she's here in my courtroom? I need an exorcist! Get this ghost out of here! Yo, ghosts! It's your boy, the judge! Get out! Just literally. Dahlia Hawthorne. I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see. But I think there's one thing you misunderstood. One more thing, then I'll get at you here.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne?
Wait, that's obvious! It's Pearl Faye! That pathetic little sniveling runt!
No, you're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it. She reported that she didn't have any power left, or her channeling juice somehow went away.
I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened.
Isn't there any explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
It could happen if someone was already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did? But who?
Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clearer to you right about now. Am I correct? It wasn't Pearls that channeled you. There was someone else who called you before she could. Well, it's obviously her, but how was she in on this entire plan in the first go? This is something that I'd love to know. I guess as we keep on playing, maybe not for this episode, but at least for one more after, we will find out. But let's keep it going. Alright then. Take that! Oh, this is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Faye is gone. There's only one possibility left. Come on already! I can't stand the tension! Dahlia Hawthorne! The person channeling you right now must be Maya Faye!
What?
But how could that be? Remember what this witness Dahlia Hawthorne said about her goal? She said that her goal was to kill Maya Faye. Yes, that's right. But if Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her... Well, Gramps, what would happen? Could it be? It looks like you finally understand, Your Honor.
Well, I don't! What are you going on about?
What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you. And there's only one reason. Just in case I get asked to point it out again. To protect herself from you!
To protect herself? From me?
Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Killing Maya Faye. The path back to Hazakura was closed off, and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem became, where would be the safest place to hide?
You mean, that's when she channeled me?
All this time you thought you had been channeled by Pearls. That's why it never occurred to you that Maya's hiding place was you!
No! Don't say that! You're saying that I, Dahlia Hawthorne, was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya Faye killed herself! Isn't it obvious?
Objection! Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open to Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the Inner Temple.
I don't believe you! A stupid little girl like that, who's never been out into the real world? She could never have to come up with a plan like that! Who could have ever given us such a brilliant idea?
Well? Me, of course. Mia!
Mia Faye?
It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh my god, I love this!
So, it's true. It was you.
Yes.
You're something else.
What are you doing here?
That hair... It's... pearls, right?
Tell me something, Dahlia. I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the Yena Temple's garden. And then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness.
I was stabbed! By Maya Fey!
Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you.
She did. Not terribly surprising, since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help. So she channeled me. She explained in the memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do.
She did that? I can't believe it!
Of course, I didn't have all of the details. But one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was?
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free.
Free? What do you mean?
It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived.
So it was Maya who put that lock on there.
Yes, but why did you order her to do those 2 things?
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Faye.
Pearls?
Yes, Pearl didn't properly understand the plan. So all she was trying to do was follow her mother, Morgan Faye's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have turned out very badly, to put it mildly.
Huh? So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Faye to kill Maya at all costs. Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along.
How dare you! I won't forget this!
Why not just admit it, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure. Yes. Another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean by another?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure.
What? How dare you!
11 years ago. The fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... after Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Valerie Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth! That wasn't my fault! It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman!
And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me.
Huh?
Well, I'm still alive, but... you wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you. But it's no longer funny.
You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face!
And now this. You've messed up again. You let Maya Fey escape. Even though she was right there in front of you.
Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Mia Fey! You Spencer! I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I was! And if only you hadn't got that spiky-haired gentle guilty verdict, I would have been hanged to death!
True. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me.
What? What did you say?
Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. As long as I'm around, you are destined to lose for all of eternity. I remember what you said early in that trial. You said there was no way we could punish you. Because you were already dead.
What about it?
Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit and the ego, it lives on forever. That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you'll have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne. A miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that. No hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burnt to a crisp.
You? Can't be! Should I lose to the likes of you?
It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now!
Nick? Sis?
Now then, I assume you are... Good call. Absolutely great call. I can only imagine what the neighbors might be thinking of what I just did there. It's for acting. I'm not actually going. It's fine. I assume you are the real Irish?
Yes. I was just rescued from the sacred cavern.
I must say, you and your twin sister are indeed identical from what I can see. In any case, it appears that everything has finally been cleared up. Mr. Godot, what happened to Dahlia Hawthorne?
If you ask me, Your Honor, it looks like she went back to the hell she came from.
It seems that Misty Fey wasn't the only victim of this crime. Maya Fey, as well as the young Pearl Fey, were also victims of this wicked and selfish plan. Yes, Your Honor. The tragedy of Medium Valley has finally come to an end, it seems. It would be best for everyone if no further attempt was made to channel that spirit again. Your Honor. Yes, what is it? About this whole spirit medium thing. It's almost weird how comfortable you seem to be with the concept now. Well, to be frank, my younger brother is quite judgmental. He often criticizes me for not studying hard enough. That's why I made a concerted effort to study up on the Korine channeling technique.
Hey! Isn't that the New Year's edition of Occult?
I've seen quite a few things in my many years on the bench. And in all that time, I finally learned this one thing. Each case is different, and takes place in its own world, if you will. In order to fully understand that world, first, we have to immerse ourselves in it completely. And that's where my brother and I used to differ.
Huh. Never thought of it that way.
At any rate, it's time for me to pass judgment in the case of Iris of Hasakura Temple.
Objection!
Objection! Still haven't had my 17 cups, Your Honor. You're a little too fast with that gavel, Your Honor. What do you mean by that, Mr. Godot?
This trial, it isn't over yet. That's what he means.
What? Right. Remember what Miss Evil Spirit said in her testimony? Huh? Dahlia's testimony?
I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. Then, I took the dagger I got out from the storeroom and... It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that. I think I was stabbed. Just as Dahlia Hawthorne was about to attack Maya, she was stabbed and killed by someone.
Yes, that's right.
The person that was ultimately killed was the spirit medium that channeled Dahlia. Elise Donim. No, Misty Faye. But who killed her? We still don't know who did it.
This isn't over! Oh god, I've been through too much already, please!
Unless someone else is found guilty, the accused is still on trial. We can't let her walk until there's evidence that proves her innocence.
No way! But this court isn't prepared for any further testimony.
The prosecution's ready to call her final witness.
Final witness?
This one will clear up the whole mystery. The mystery of who killed Misty Faye.
Indeed.
Is it really alright, Mr. Prosecutor?
Of course it's alright, Madam Attorney.
Very well then. Who is his final witness?
Isn't it obvious? There's one person who saw the whole event, and will put the final dagger in this case.
Someone who saw the murder take place?
The very person who saw her mother killed in front of her own eyes.
You mean Maya? You can't! She can't testify after what she's just been through?
We need to find the truth. The prosecution calls Maya Faye to the witness stand.
Very well. But first, we'll take a brief recess. We'll have to wait for Miss Faye to recover before summoning her. Once we receive the doctor's permission, we will proceed with the trial.
Hey, Trite. I got something to say to you, so listen up.
What is it?
I don't think much of you as a lawyer. It's always the same with you. You
somehow managed to squeak by without even a faint understanding of the case. Some beautiful woman always seems to come dashing in at the last minute to save you. You've got some nerve! But that's not gonna happen this time. This time, you're gonna have to do this by yourself. That's enough! This court is now in recess! Stop your bickering!
That is where we'll have it, I believe. Like, it will save at here. I reckon what's to follow is gonna be what we do next episode. Could even be the final time we're here next time as well. Whoo-wee! I agree. Whoo. Indeed. Like, whew! You know what, doing all of that Iris/Dahlia stuff, it kind of took it out of me a little bit, especially the breakdown with the spirit finally being exercised, as it were. Fatality done, whiplash of everything. Yes, everything, damn. But yeah. Not just quite yet. Well, like I said, we're gonna have one more episode of this at the very least. So, hang on, before we go any further with this one, go like that, yeah. But holy goodness. The ending of this should hopefully be coming next time around, and we finally put it to bed. Who did what? Could it be secret woman behind the curtain, or is there something even more sinister at play? We're truly getting to the bottom of everything. But will we like what we hear? Goodness me, I don't know, but I am so excited to find out more. But yeah, I'm gonna need a rest. A rest after everything that's transpired here today, because it was certainly very, very exciting and entertaining and very interesting. Hope all of y'all enjoyed it too with me. If you're still here in our stream, thank you very much for still sticking around with us. If you have missed anything of this stream, then please don't worry. We have a VOD channel over on YouTube where we make highlights of all of our streams and put them over there, and we can give you everything unedited and uninterrupted with no ad breaks in between. So if you want to watch everything back again or catch up on things you've missed, you can do that over on Laura Petal VOD in a few days' time. And if you are watching this currently in our YouTube video, thank you so much for making it this far. I do appreciate it. And if you did enjoy what you see in this video today, then please let me know with a like and comment. And if you did want to support the channel even further and be an awesome bean, make sure you click the subscribe button and click the bell as well. There are links in the description as well, written out so you can see where my social feeds are. My Discord link is there too, and the Twitch link is there as well if you'd like to see a live stream done live here. Traditionally on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, but sometimes we do extra days like we did today. Yeah, we would love to have you for all of our regular playthroughs. And all of our special events too. But let's have a breather. Let's collect ourselves and be ready for potentially the wrapping up of Trials and Tribulations. The wrapping up. Finally burn the bridges behind us and put this whole thing to bed. Throw it in the river and be done with it. Will that happen? And what even is the outcome gonna be? Well, stay tuned next time with us and find out. Until then, though, if we've made your day better as a result of this video in any way, shape, or form, that is lovely to hear. And I hope I get the chance to do it again for you sometime soon in the future. Thank you very much for tuning in, either in the Twitch land or in the YouTube video. Make sure to check the links in the description if you are watching on YouTube. You can find me on other places there. And yeah, we've got all our playlists there as well as the entirety of this game, the entirety of the trilogy, and the entirety of our Asuna chronology so far in separate playlists there. So please feel free to check those out if you want to see more. And yeah, we'd love to have you on our journey to find out more about what's going to happen. But that will have to wait until next episode. So until then, guys and girls and everybody in between watching this right now, please stay and stay awesome, and please enjoy your remaining plans until we next see each other, whether that be straight away or whether that be sometime soon. I love and appreciate you all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for potentially the finale to Trials and Tribulations next time. See you soon. Bye bye!